There is a moment in the ancient scrolls where a single, guttural sound changed the biological reality of a suffering man forever. Most translations simply say he was healed, but they omit the raw, vibrating frequency that left the mouth of Jesus in that sacred hour. You are carrying doors within your soul that have been locked by years of trauma, silent prayers, and unexplained blockages. This is not just a story from the past. It is a spiritual technology designed to shatter the invisible walls standing between you and your restoration. Today, you will discover the exact frequency of the command that forced the universe to obey the voice of the Creator. If you have felt death to your own purpose or blind to your next step, prepare yourself, because the silence is about to end. To understand the magnitude of what occurred on the shores of the Decapolis, we must look beyond the ink of the modern Bible and into the dust of the earth where Jesus stood. The Gospel of Mark, in its 7th chapter, preserves a rare moment where the Greek translation was insufficient, forcing the writers to keep the original sound of the Master. When Jesus looked up to heaven and deep-sighed, he was not merely expressing exhaustion. He was tapping into the primordial breath of life itself. The man before him was not just deaf and speech. He was a living symbol of a soul disconnected from the divine rhythm. We often find ourselves in this exact state, surrounded by the noise of the world, yet unable to hear the clear direction of the Spirit. The struggle you face today, whether it is a physical ailment or a stagnant season in your life, is often a sign of a closed spiritual gate. In the ancient world, a sigh was a precursor to a creative act, a gathering of the ruka, or the holy breath, before it is released as a command. Jesus knew that human logic could not fix what was spiritually bound. So he bypassed the mind and spoke directly to the essence of the blockage. This revelation is the key to understanding why your previous efforts may have failed, as you were trying to open with force what can only be opened with the correct frequency. As we peel back the layers of this miracle, you will realize that the same authority used 2,000 years ago is vibrating in the atmosphere right now, waiting for your permission to act. Everything in this reality responds to a specific resonance, and the word we are about to explore is the ultimate master key for every locked situation. Shortly, I will guide you through a short practice prayer together, where we will use this exact sound to address the specific areas of your life that have felt stagnant or dead. This is not a ritual of religion, but a restoration of your divine inheritance through the very language Jesus spoke while walking the hills of Galilee. The world tells you to wait for circumstances to change, but the ancient wisdom teaches that you must speak to the circumstance from a place of higher authority. When Jesus touched the man, he was identifying with his pain. But when he spoke the word, he was asserting his sovereignty over that pain. You must realize that the barriers in your health, your finances, or your relationships are not permanent fixtures. They are merely waiting for a command they recognize. By returning to the original Aramaic, we are stripping away centuries of diluted meaning and returning to the raw power of the Word made flesh. You are not a victim of a closed door. You are the keeper of the key that Jesus handed back to humanity through his sacred breath. If today's revelation has stirred something in your heart, don't let your journey end here. Our Aramaic Wisdom Guide was created to help you rediscover the original wisdom behind the words of Jesus. True knowledge sets us free, and you'll find the link waiting for you in the comments. And the best is yet to come. In the next chapters, you'll discover what could change everything for you. Holy Father, Creator of all breath and sound. Holy Father, Creator of all breath and sound, I stand before you in the name of Jesus, asking for the absolute release of my spirit. And the best is yet to come. In the next chapters, you'll discover what could change everything for you. Holy Father, Creator of all breath and sound, I stand before you in the name of Jesus, asking for the absolute release of my spirit. I speak the word Ephphatha over my life right now, commanding every deaf ear to hear your voice and every closed door in my path to swing wide. I refuse to live in silence or stagnation any longer, for I am a child of the light. The weight of this prayer lies in the syllable of the command itself, for Ephphatha is more than a request. It is a divine decree. When we address the Creator using the sounds that Jesus used, we are aligning our vocal cords with the frequency of the miraculous. The man in the biblical account did not have to earn his hearing. He simply had to be in the presence of the one who possessed the master key. This shift in perspective is vital for your transformation because it moves you from the position of a beggar to the position of a rightful heir. You are now entering the space where the spiritual and physical realms collide, and the result is always a release of what was previously bound. In the original language, the structure of this word implies an ongoing state of being open, not just a one-time event. This means that when the authority of Jesus touches your situation, the opening is permanent and we often struggle because we seek temporary fixes for spiritual problems, but the Aramaic path offers a total reconstruction of your reality. As we move forward, keep your heart centered on the area of your life that requires this opening, whether it is your physical health or the clarity of your purpose. The resonance of the ancient word is still echoing through time, and it is searching for a heart that is ready to receive the full magnitude of its power. The reason this command is so vital is that it addresses the root of the blockage rather than the symptoms. In our modern world, we are taught to manage our problems, but Jesus came to eliminate them by speaking to the core of the matter. When the word Ephphatha was released, it shattered the spiritual crust that had formed over the man's senses, allowing the life force of the Father to flow freely once again. You must understand that your current limitations are often just layers of worldly noise that have covered your true divine nature. By using this sacred sound, you are essentially peeling back those layers to reveal the perfection that has always been there, hidden under the surface of your struggle. This process of uncovering is what the ancient scribes referred to as the awakening of the inner ear, a state where you are no longer influenced by the chaotic frequencies of fear and lack that dominate the earthly plane. The authority of Jesus was not based on his physical strength or his social standing, but on his perfect alignment with the original language of creation. Every time you speak the word in faith, you are tapping into that same alignment and claiming your victory over the forces of stagnation. This is why the enemy of your soul wants you to remain ignorant of these original sounds, for they are the tools of your liberation. You were never meant to walk through life with closed eyes or a muted voice. You were designed to be a conduit of heaven's wisdom and power. When you resonate with the sound of Ephphatha, you are effectively telling the universe that you no longer consent to the boundaries that have held you back. The spiritual realm recognizes this authority because it is the same voice that called light out of darkness at the dawn of time. Now that you have the key, you are responsible for the doors you choose to open, and you must realize that this power carries a weight of divine purpose. You are not just opening doors for your own comfort, but to allow the light of the Creator to shine through you into a world that is desperate for authentic hope. Every breakthrough you experience becomes a testament to the fact that the ancient paths are still open to those who seek them with a sincere heart. The barriers that once seemed like insurmountable mountains will begin to dissolve into mist as you grow in your understanding of this sacred command. You are moving from a life of restriction into a life of expansive possibility, where the only limit is the degree to which you trust the breath of Jesus within you. This is the inheritance of the children of light, a return to the original state of freedom where every sense is fully alive and every word carries the weight of heaven. Perhaps you're wondering why these original teachings remained hidden for so long. That's why we created the Aramaic Wisdom Guide, because true knowledge sets us free. The link is waiting for you in the comments. The path to a permanent opening requires more than a momentary encounter. It demands a ritual of consistency that aligns your daily life with the frequency of the Master. To truly integrate the power of Ephphatha into your existence, you must move beyond the initial prayer and enter into a sustained state of spiritual readiness. This transformation protocol is not a repetitive mantra, but a deliberate redirection of your focus and your breath during the most sacred moments of your day. The ancient wisdom suggests that the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is thinnest during the transition from sleep to waking life, and it is in this threshold that you must claim your authority. As you open your eyes each morning, before the noise of the world begins to crowd your mind, take a deep breath and visualize the light of Jesus standing at the gates of your soul. Speak the word Ephphatha 3 times with a firm and calm voice, directed at the specific area of your life that has felt locked or unresponsive. This morning practice sets the spiritual tone for your entire day, creating a resonance that attracts divine opportunities while repelling the frequencies of discouragement. As you speak the word for the first time, focus on the physical sensation of the sound vibrating in your chest, imagining it as a golden key turning in a rusted lock. This first utterance is for the clearing of the past, removing the residue of old disappointments and the echoes of prayers that seem to go unanswered. With the second utterance of Ephphatha, visualize your present circumstances being flooded with a divine light that reveals opportunities and paths that were previously invisible to your eyes. This is the moment where you acknowledge that the power of Jesus is currently active and working on your behalf, even if your physical senses have not yet caught up to the spiritual reality. The third and final utterance should be spoken with the absolute conviction of an heir, claiming the future and commanding every door to stay open for the remainder of your day. This practice creates a spiritual seal around your mind, ensuring that you walk through the world not as a victim of circumstance, but as a person of divine authority who carries the resonance of the Master in their very breath. By engaging in this daily ritual, you are effectively retraining your subconscious mind to expect miracles rather than defeats. The world has conditioned you to prepare for the worst, but the protocol of Ephphatha conditions you to remain open to the best that the Father has to offer. This shift in expectation is the catalyst for real physical change, as your body and your environment begin to respond to the new frequency you are emitting. Throughout your day, if you encounter a moment of tension or a situation that feels like it is closing in on you, return to this center of calm and whisper the word once more. This is not just a mental exercise, but a physiological realignment where your heart rate and your spirit synchronize with the peace that Jesus promised to his followers. The original Aramaic teachings emphasize that the mouth is the rudder of the soul, and by choosing to speak the command of opening rather than the words of complaint, you are steering your life toward the shores of restoration. This constant state of spiritual openness allows the divine current to flow through you without interruption, turning you into a vessel of light that remains unaffected by the shadows of the world. As we move toward the finalization of this revelation, understand that the power of Ephphatha is not limited by time or geography. It is an eternal command that continues to vibrate through the fabric of your life long after the video ends. You have been equipped with a spiritual technology that was once whispered in secret but is now being restored to the people of light for such a time as this. The Master, Jesus, did not speak these words to impress the crowds, but to demonstrate that the original blueprint of your life was never meant to be one of limitation, silence, or spiritual deafness. You are the custodian of this ancient resonance, and every time you choose to speak it with faith, you are reclaiming the territory that the world tried to take from you. This is the moment where you must decide to leave the valley of your struggles and ascend to the mountain of your divine inheritance. The opening that has begun in your heart today is just the beginning of a massive shift that will soon manifest in your physical world, transforming your health, your relationships, and your very sense of purpose. The depth of this transformation depends on your willingness to let go of the old narratives that defined you by your closed doors and failed attempts. If you continue to see yourself as someone who is stuck or excluded, you are essentially fighting against the very frequency that Jesus has released into your spirit. To walk in the power of Ephphatha is to walk with a new posture, a new voice, and a new expectation of goodness that transcends your current understanding. You are now part of a lineage of believers who understand that the original language of the Creator is the most potent force in existence, capable of rearranging the atoms of your body and the circumstances of your life. This wisdom is your shield and your sword, allowing you to navigate the complexities of modern life with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the Master's secrets. You are no longer waiting for permission to be whole. You are now the one who carries the authority to command wholeness into every dark corner of your experience and the lives of those around you. As you step out into the world, remember that your light is a beacon for others who are still trapped in the silence of their own locked gates and forgotten dreams. Your restoration is not for you alone, but for the glory of the Father and the expansion of His kingdom of light on this earth through your transformed life. The journey you have started today will lead you to places you never thought possible, and you will find that the doors that once seemed immovable now respond to the mere presence of the Spirit within you. You are the living proof of the miracle of the Decapolis, a modern testament to the fact that Jesus is still speaking, still sighing over His children, and still commanding the universe to be open for those who dare to believe. The resonance of the ancient world is your modern reality, and the power that was unleashed by the breath of the Master is now flowing through your veins as a permanent force of renewal. Embrace this opening. Walk through the gates that have been unlocked for you, and never again allow the noise of the world to drown out the sacred sound of your own liberation. Just a quick reminder, the transformation guides for a fuller life are waiting for you, right there in the comments. Before you leave, if this message touched your heart or brought new understanding into your life, WRITE, the word restoration, in the comments below. Your testimony may encourage someone else who is seeking healing and renewal. Thank you for sharing this moment of ancient wisdom with us. Until the next revelation, walk in peace, walk in freedom, and walk in the power of Ephphatha. Be open. We are just scratching the surface of this ancient power. Get ready, because in our next video, I will reveal even deeper Aramaic codes that unlock spiritual authority you've never imagined. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss this unfolding revelation.